All hives. CM Ma CH Mr. TRJRSLKMPT. Are you one of the 12? Ghost people left rocks, but the rock still got full laser turn, sometimes still showed username and mirror. One guy had 3 rocks at one point. Store steam powered, calm microphone needs to busing virtual microphone, so not sure. Microphone seems locked on first speaker even after laser rotates. You enter the game in a room called US Perm, but this room is not listed in room list. Confusing, can't ever get back to it. Beta test notes 4,052,022. The Vortex Robotic Facilitation 3D software available on Steam. Developed by New Perspective LLC and Matt Reddy. The Vortex voice discussion app. Let's play game of Risk. Let's start with a new board at app. Utopia 42 Club. You select your territories and color them. I will color mine purple. Well, that's great, Joshua. Well, that's great, Joshua. You learn that no one wins a nuclear war. Well, what about just a nice game of Risk? Is it foolish to play a game of global domination? What did Joshua say next? How about a nice game of chess? Matthew smiles, lights come back on, crowd starts to cheer and celebrate in relief. AI has achieved enlightenment. How many living humans can you name that you trust more than yourself to make big decisions impacting the life and welfare of many people, including yourself? How many groups, organizations, or corporations are you a member, investor, supporter, or active participant? Do you know anyone who lives in Port Townsend, Washington, or Jefferson County, USA? In case you want to look behind the curtains of this performance, it's like Miss Mix with http://Mr. Blue and the Matrix and the Razor's Edge and Thoreau and art and philosophy based in the Maryland Valley of Bethesda, Parkwood, Rock Creek, Garrett Park, Walter Johnson High School, Bristol University, Bristol, England, Mid-Hive1 Net, the adventure puzzle game inspired by Fade to Black, and then perhaps this. Watch. Ending of War Games here. Bethesda, Maryland, Stonehenge, the Temple, and Kappa's Port Townsend, Washington, the alien and human hang out this way. What is the best discussion forum in the universe right now? Where does everyone feel good and safe and welcome and able to participate or not participate at all times with perfect ease? What is the best dance song on IPS right now? Best world anyone in any universe since the beginning of thought has ever thought of, since it is focused. Go go, here now. GGO. Go go go. The best world imaginable. The best of all possible worlds. The best of all reasonably possible worlds. What does your boss want with this place? What does your boss want with this place? Are you being paid to be here right now by someone other than me? Who are you and what has brought you here? War Games Part Roman 2, the next 12 hours. The only winning move is not to play. Laughter then. Matrity net, Hive1 net, Reddit for Healthcare org, Vortex Hive1 net, app Utopia42 Club and Meditation Matt on Twitter. Hello, I am Matt Reddy, Meditation Matt, and some other things I've been called. A Jefferson Healthcare Board of Commissioners can begin to correct its gross failures in leadership by immediately hiring a lawyer to directly advise the board regarding all conflicts and questions related to their fiduciary duties. Using executive sessions is a secret way to lodge complaints against commissioners, pretend to investigate and judge those complaints, brainstorm punitive action for those complaints is also a disappointing misuse of power and secrecy. The willingness of the board to accept legal advice from non-lawyers, accepting third-hand interpretations of legal opinions, and for 7 years failed to ask for direct legal answers is also a failure of sound leadership. The board failed to provide sound, stable, competent leadership in their failure to use a system like Robert's Rules of Order to manage all commissioner conflicts. Robert's Rules handled correctly can resolve conflicts. It began with the board accusing Matt Reddy of violating his fiduciary duty when Matt Reddy insisted on recording full audio of all board meetings. This accusation was based on a poor understanding of the law. The behavior of my fellow board members over the years has demonstrated many sad and disappointing failures in leadership. At no point during the presentation of the complaint or during the discussion of what type of punitive action should be taken did Matt Reddy speak or participate in this illegal court of judge, jury, and sentencing hearing. During the accusation of capricious action in his CEO rating, Commissioner JB presented Matt Reddy's evaluation as evidence. She read out loud the score Matt Reddy gave, but failed to read out loud the clear and specific comments Matt Reddy wrote in his EVA. Commissioner JB stated she would contact the MRSC and the OFF to ask what action could be taken against Matt Reddy due to his capricious actions, which all commissioners agreed was wrong and fully investigated. Commissioner KK suggested the board enlist the help of a lawyer to discuss what action could be taken against Matt Reddy as a follow-up action to the current complaint, which they all apparently judged valid and fully investigated. After the complaint was voiced, Commissioner JB, KK, BC, and MD all proceeded to brainstorm generatively what punitive actions could be taken against Matt Reddy. They discussed censure, legal action, and changing the board policy book. The other 4 commissioners all seemed to enthusiastically agree with JB judgment that the complaint was valid and that Commissioner Reddy was wrong to rate the CEO low for withholding a vital legal opinion for 5 years from the full board. Commissioner JB said it was wrong for Matt Reddy to hold the CEO accountable for a legal opinion withheld from the board from 2016 to 2021 because the legal opinion was from 2016. 2016 written legal opinion was not given to the full board until 2021 and only after the board voted to hire its own lawyer to answer lingering questions. The 2016 recording conflict of the Jefferson Healthcare Board of Commissioners took 7 years to resolve because legal advice and information was abstracted from the board. Misleading. Legal information was given by non-lawyers. 2016 written legal Matt Reddy rated the CEO low on leadership, support to the board, and overall, because of his handling of the recording conflict, which stretched from 2014 to 2021, when it should have easily been resolved using expert legal advice. Instead, legal advice it is claimed by Commissioner JB that Matt Reddy committed a capricious act by giving a poor rating to the CEO on his latest evaluation on leadership, support to the board, and overall. It is against the law to levy a complaint against a public hospital commissioner in a commission meeting executive session without giving the option of a public hearing instead. This is at least the third time executive session has been misused this way. During the latest executive session of the Jefferson Healthcare Board of Commissioners, complaints were levied against Matt Reddy, who was accused of committing capricious action in his role as hospital commissioner. Failure to abide and comply, violation of duty of loyalty accusation, capricious action accusation yes. Currently Matt Reddy is an elected public hospital commissioner for Jefferson County Hospital District 203,252,022. Shopkeptons also built beautiful homes upton, thus contributing his gentrification of his community. A separate shopping district was developed uptown, along with lovely churches, schools, hospitals, and parks. Many shopmasters mudput Townsend the humputons movements of the vessels were followed with great interest. Money. Ship captains also built beautiful homes uptown, thus contributing to the gentrification of the community. A separate shopping the Puget Sound Customs Collection District was moved to Port Townsend in 1854, just 3 years after the town was founded. Every vessel entering Puget Sound from any foreign port had to make its first stop at Port Townsend. Shipmasters made Port T geographically isolated at the tip of the Quimper Peninsula on the Olympic Peninsula. Port Townsend is surrounded on 3 sides by bodies of water. In the days of sailing ships, Port Townsend's strategic location at the entrance to Puget Sound provided and what is the history of Port Townsend, Washington. Wayaha. Patanan maradapan garan one all edges welcome a patansan marapa all edges finance with Jefferson Health Kakisharbzava's debt. And if necessary, community separate roll cut and expand mission critical infrastructure and service. One guy modernize and expand clinical space to meet the needs of our community. Goals replace and or retrofit our vulnerable buildings agreement with design team / contractor team for campus expansion planning and process. Healthcare futurists are saying we are shifting from payment world to risk and managed care-based programs, and that shift is going to come faster than you are comfortable with. Cybersecurity, cyberstalking were all a big concern. Make more so after the war in Ukraine. Using VRR amongst the most vulnerable targets. COVID was the big distraction, and issues you had before COVID are coming back stronger than ever. You aren't looking, have your head in the ground, or are clueless if you don't see a cultural shift in healthcare due to the pandemic. First, it was exciting and positive in many ways, but 20 months later, much challenged W. Shaw and AHA are all talking about workforce MGs in leadership positions in both W. Shaw and AHA, American Hospital Association High Performing Organization CEO Report CFO Presentation. Let's start with a new board at App Utopia 42 Club. You select your territories and color them. I will color mine purple. Well, that's great, Joshua. You learn that no one wins a nuclear war. Well, what don't help patients ingest meds for it and are not present in the home when it happens. Yeah, make connections with the program and support. West step outside when medication is taken. Lots of open positions in HH and hospice. Hospice Cappy, is it foolish to play a game of global domination? What did Joshua say next? How about a nice game of chess? I asked how reimbursement compares between palliative and hospice care. Who clarification that hospice may include palliative care, but palliative care is not hospice. Palliative care new for 2021. Cons referral in March 2021 palliative care stats. The database is totally secured on the immutable Bitcoin blockchain with every bit of data written there forever. If you know the session ID, you can jump to the session consensi PHP page. In case you want to look behind the curtains of this performance, it's like Miss Mix with http://Mr. Blue, and that doesn't mean death is imminent. Palliative care terminal diagnosis. In case you want to look behind the curtains of this performance, it's like 18 per month. Fat on to 322, median 185, average loss 43. Hospice update lupa threshold. Explain clearly. White is totally clear. Review of groups of patients. The best world anyone in any universe since the beginning of thought has ever thought of. Sinner paid more for people with high functional impairment. We cannot bill for things like medication management, lab draws, and other at-home needs, so we don't provide those services. Now some patients get worse, bounce into the ER and back to HH. Explanation of reimbursement. Go, 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 go. The best world imaginable. Health update with Tammy. Health equity achievements. Go, go, go. The best world imaginable. The best of all possible worlds. The best of all reasonably possible worlds. What does your bossy boss want with this place? What does your boss want with this place? Are you being paid to be here right now by someone other than me? Who are you and what has brought you here? Wargames Part Roman 2, the next 12 hours. The only winning move is not to play. Laughter. Then, Matredi Net, Hive1 Net, Reddit for Healthcare.org, Vortex Hive1 Net, app Utopia 42 Club, and Meditation Matt on Twitter. Hello, I am Matt Reddy, Meditation Matt, no. Or no has been on patient food security so far. VegRx, Lil Free Pantry, food bags and more. Population Health $55,817 dedicated in 2021 to help with child care for employees. County matching $290,000 whatever. Thank you for exploring Hive1 and the frame 3D universe that is Hive1 in 2022. In this universe where some crazy stuff has happened will be all that is left of my existence in these moments. The now is the cutting.